Gloves came off on the Pix 11 debate stage. Congressman Dan Goldman and former New York City comptroller Brad Lander traded sharp attacks over immigration, Gaza, and the future of the Democratic Party. Joining us now is Duarte Geraldino, who's breaking down the biggest jabs in tonight's debate. Hi, Duarte.
Jab it was, Shirley. So Gaza, housing, taxes. The candidates, they disagreed on all of it, but those issues often led back to the bigger debate about what kind of Democrat should represent New Yorkers' 10th district.
Congress is a totally different animal. It does not operate like city or state government, and we cannot afford to have rookies who don't know how to navigate that system and to get results.
I'm nobody's rookie. The legislation I passed in the city council made us first city in the country where fast food workers have stable schedules, where delivery workers get a living wage.
One of the sharpest exchanges came when Pix 11's Dan Manarino asked whether Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Lander said yes. Goldman refused that label.
When we say never again, it's got to mean never again to anyone, not just never again to us. The vast majority of genocide scholars, of organizations that study genocide, Omar Bartov, Israel's foremost genocide academic, says it is genocide.
When I go around, and Brad knows this too, and I talk to the voters in the district, they're not talking about Israel. They're trying to figure out whether their Section 8 funding is going to be saved. They're trying to figure out how they're going to put food on the table. They're trying to figure out where their health care is going to come from.
The candidates also disagreed on how Democrats should confront ICE.
What I have done from day one when I confronted ICE officers who were wearing masks is I introduced immediately the first legislation to ban masks. When I was going to court and watching all of these ICE officers arrest people coming out of court, I introduced a bill that would prohibit those arrests.
When people came up to me and said, you know, Mr. Lander, when I saw you get arrested, that's the day I signed up to go be a court watcher or to go to Hands Off NYC and get out in the streets to protect our immigrant neighbors.
Despite the clashes, the candidates agreed on some major issues.
My Robin Hood Act would tax those loans so that Bezos, Musk, and the other billionaires would actually pay their fair share in taxes.
Affordable housing has been the work of my whole career. Before I ever ran for office, I spent 15 years in a nonprofit building affordable housing.
This debate, it also turned personal.
Everybody knows that Brad wanted a job in Zoran's administration, and yet Zoran said that he was a nice enough guy but wasn't a particularly effective controller.
The job I wanted was indeed to be the mayor of New York City.
You heard both candidates, and remember, the Democratic primary is June 23rd. Shirley?
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire. That's just a week away. Thank you, Duarte.